Welcome to Your Money Guides, brought to you by Interface Financial Planning.
Is insurance as reassuring as it should be? Today, Alan wants to talk about insurance companies. This is a topic particularly close to his heart as, if you didn't already know, Alan had a severe house fire earlier this year, hence his sporadic communication of late. We all go through years paying insurance without ever making a claim, and you have insurance in place to safeguard against disasters and emergencies. However, while Alan hasn't claimed for years, over the past 12 months he's had to use various insurers for different reasons. It began with his car being written off when a bus struck him from behind. Actually, the process was relatively smooth, and Alan was lulled into a full sense of security because Ageas, Alan's car insurance company, paid up within just 3 weeks. Alan thought that was excellent, and he picked up his new car on the 10th of May 2022. The accident occurred in mid-April, so the payout was fast, and Alan was happy with that. He should say that the 3-week delay was down to the availability of cars, and he had to go all the way to Derby from Birmingham to get his new car. So, when Alan and his wife Trisha had a house fire on the 9th of February 2023, Alan contacted everyone immediately, some before the fire engines had even arrived. The house insurance advanced some money, but after that nominal amount, they began asking for absolutely everything. Estimated values of everything that was lost, when things had been purchased, and lists of what was ruined. Believe Alan, all of the above was an impossible task. Consider this carefully. How can you think of everything you've lost? Let's say you go away from home for a while, and then you're asked to list everything in your kitchen, your bedroom, and your home office, for example. Could you do it and remember every single item, and then put a value on it? If you bought things 5 years ago, and let's not forget, insurance policies can be old, put into place 10 years ago or even longer. How can you remember what you paid for a microwave you purchased 5 years ago, let alone recall the make? You have to guess the value. It really is difficult. Penn Insurance, who are Alan's buildings and content insurers, have been relatively amenable, albeit very slow. As an example, Alan sent an email to their loss adjuster and received a response back to say that they're on holiday until the 31st of May. Making that point about building insurance, Alan has a combined policy which makes sense, and here's why. Consider carpets. Would you say they're building or contents? You can't take them up and move them to a new house, can you? Yet despite this, they come under contents. Laminated floors come under buildings, yet curtains are contents, whereas curtain tracks are also buildings. It's crazy. In one way, it doesn't matter, because Alan has a combined policy. But you do have to specify when making a claim, as, for example, you might have £1 million for buildings and 70,000 for contents. Alan would definitely recommend a combined policy. Alan works from home and has a separate business insurance with AXA to cover the business. AXA has been quite simply appalling. It took 10 weeks for their representative to finally visit. He spent a reluctant hour with Alan and Trisha and promised to send a follow-up email within 24 hours. After a month, they're still waiting. Alan had kept the fire-damaged equipment in the neighbour's garage and showed the representative, but he wasn't at all interested in looking at it. He said AXA would pay if they provided copies of the original receipts. The fact that Alan could show him the burnt computer, printer, scanner, and so on was of no interest, which quite honestly was shocking. Think about it. They just endured a house fire. How many people have copies of original receipts, let alone after a fire when paperwork has been destroyed? Thankfully, Alan's business is cloud-based, and he started to locate copies of invoices. But the first one that he found was purchased in Alan's own name and then charged the business. The representative said that wasn't acceptable because the receipt must be in the company name. Alan has since spoken to his accountant, and the accountant confirmed this is normal for small businesses. It is perfectly acceptable for HMRC, so why not for AXA? How ridiculous. They are as obstructive as possible, it seems. The fact is that every single item from Alan's reading glasses to his mobile phone was destroyed. Alan's belief was that his business insurance was meant to protect him from disaster, but 3 months later on, they're still arguing and haven't paid out a penny. Put it this way, if Alan hadn't used his own money to replace the business equipment, the business wouldn't exist anymore. The upshot from this is that while insurance is there to help in the event of an emergency, it can also hinder. The household insurance company was informed immediately on the day of the fire, and yet they did nothing to help. Alan secured the house, boarding up the damaged window, preventing access from the weather and intruders. The gas and electricity had been turned off, so Alan organised the electrician and the electricity testing so that power could be restored. Alan and Trisha were unable to live at home for almost 3 weeks, so it was important that the electricity was restored so that the burglar alarm could be reconnected. Alan then arranged the builders. In fact, he's organised everything, whereas the insurers just created more angst and work for Alan and Trisha. So, what can you learn from Alan's experience? Read the small print. Be informed about what's covered. Take out business insurance if you work from home because you won't be covered without it. And keep receipts and copies. Scan them. Save them in the cloud if you can. Do be prepared for the fact that your insurers will work at their own pace and can be extremely unhelpful, contrary to what you might think. Finally, ensure that you keep a cash reserve in case of disaster. Alan spent around £30,000 out of their own bank account. If he hadn't had access to that money, his wife and Alan would still be sitting in a hotel somewhere with their home deteriorating by the day. Alan's business would have disappeared and their mental health would have also suffered.
For more information, visit our website at interfacefinancialplanning.co.uk.